Hey everyone, this is Yami, your Latina next door. Welcome back to my channel. As most of you know, I am a creator for Plaid, the creators of full cart acrylic paints, Mod Podge, Delta Ceram coats, and much more. And I have done several projects for them during this year. Now, if you haven't seen any of those, I'll go ahead and make sure to link to them in the description box. For this month, we were challenged to create a DIY gift idea for the holidays. And I remember that I picked these up at my local Dollar Tree for Halloween, but never really did anything to them. And I thought this was the perfect thing to transform into a gift for the holidays. Of course, it has a farmhouse twist to it, and if you're interested in seeing how I transform these, please keep watching. So the first thing I did was remove as much of the labels that I could, and then I took my acrylic paints in Wicker White and Country Twill and gave these a quick one coat of paint. Now you only need one coat of paint, pretty much because all we're doing right now is getting rid of the pattern on the top of these little faux books. I covered one of the books in the Country Twill, and then I did two of the books in the Wicker White. Now after they were dry, I took out my ribbon and scrap fabric stash. Now this ribbon had some stitching all around it to prevent fraying, so I had to cut it down and had to use two pieces in order to cover this little faux book all the way around. Once my pieces were cut to size, I got my matte Mod Podge out, and it was time to apply the ribbon on the book. I started on the back and then worked my way around the book. I made sure to take my time with this and make sure that the ribbon was secured and flat on the book. And in order to keep it in place, I would put a couple of dollops of hot glue just so that the ribbon wouldn't move. I use hot glue to go around the edges and secure to the inside panel. I took my time with all the edges, making sure they were completely covered. And then I did the same thing with the second piece. And don't worry about the seam, this is going to be covered later. Then after the book was dry, I decided that I wanted to add a piece of lace around the bottom section. Now for this application, it was a little bit different. I actually applied both the Mod Podge underneath the lace and on top of the lace this time because it was so thin it needed the Mod Podge on top to weigh it down. After that, I wanted to add more ribbon. This one is from Dollar Tree, and I simply just glued it all across. And as you can see, this covers the previous seam. And then I added one more ribbon. Of course, I had two more boxes, and I did the same for them using different types of ribbon that all pretty much coordinated together. I covered the other two books with some scrap white duck cloth that I had on hand. And then I just added more ribbon to my liking. And for the smallest little book, I used both fabrics so I can get a two-tone look. Then for a finishing touch, I had these stencils also made by Plaid, and I decided to add a few words to some of the books. I simply adhered it with some painter's tape, that way it didn't move. I use a small stencil brush, and I use some more folk art paint in the color black. And then finally, in order to complete the finished look of this, I took some thick white felt and I cut it down in order to cover up all those unfinished edges from when I put the pieces of fabric over the cover. And finally, here's how they turned out. This is a sweet little gift for a hostess over the holidays. Maybe you can fill it up with sweet little treats. It's perfect to hide little trinkets or store some jewelry on a nightstand. Of course, these are fully customizable to your style. You can stencil images or even someone's name on this to personalize the gift. There are so many possibilities with this, and of course, you would never guess that this was a Halloween box from the Dollar Tree. I'll make sure to link to all of the products I use in the description box below. Let me know in the comments which version you like best, and hit like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, adios!